Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. This is Jimmy Hapa coming at you from my apartment, and I just came back from a business trip in Japan and just wanted to share some of the great games that I picked up here. All this stuff on this ABC is stuff I picked up. Didn't have a lot of time really to go out and look for games, but hit up places like Book Off and Super Potato, really famous Japanese stores for like used games, especially retro games. And I lived in Japan for several years before in the past, and I picked up a lot of Japanese games, and I learned a lot about where to find games and what are good prices. Used to sell a lot on eBay too, so thought I'd just share some of the finds I have and hopefully get you guys interested in buying games in Japan if you ever go. So I just want to start. I'll just kind of use dollar values, make it simple, and it's another thing to note is I picked up a lot of these games in the hopes that I'll make a video about some of them sometime. So yeah, hopefully in the coming months you'll see some videos from me about the titles I mentioned here. First, let's start over here with this stack right here. It's a pile of 105 yen games, so it's about literally about a dollar with the exchange rate at the time. I'll just start off with this right here actually. I haven't opened it up, it's just a plastic sleeve, but this is Panzer Dragoon Zwei for the Sega Saturn, the sequel to Panzer Dragoon, a really great on-rails shooting game. Had a, kind of hard to get off, had a sequel, an RPG sequel, Panzer Dragoon Saga, which is incredibly rare in the States, very expensive. And this copy in English is also kind of expensive, but pretty common to find in Japan. But 105 yen is a great deal, and it's in pretty good shape. Haven't really opened it up yet, but yeah, looks like everything's intact. Alright, great game. I hope they make a sequel sometime. I heard there's supposed to be one, a kind of spiritual successor for the Connect, but not really that interested. Dead or Alive, the limited edition for Sega Saturn. The original, 105 yen, $1. Let's see, it comes with a little booklet, maybe a art book. But yeah, Dead or Alive series changed a lot since with Dead or Alive 2. So it's kind of fun. Of course, most people played the game for the physics engine. When I was it's probably in 7th grade when this came out. Another game, Grandia, Sega Saturn again. This is one of my favorite RPGs of all time. It was really big in Japan. The Sega Saturn version never got released here. This is actually the original version. PlayStation port was later made, and that came over to the States. But I heard it wasn't. I have it, and I thought it was okay. But I heard there were a lot of problems with the port, including the translation. So I'm really excited to go in and play this game in Japanese. I'm a huge fan of Grandia 2, and I'd love to play this sometime. Let's throw these over here. Airgites, fighting game from Squaresoft before they were Square Enix. When I was younger, a lot of people had a hard time pronouncing the name. They would say Airgaze, Ergaze, but yeah, right there, plain as day, Airgites. Fighting game for the PlayStation 1. Developed by Dream Factory, I believe. They did the Bouncer and the Tobal games, Tobal 1 and 2. And they kind of just faded from the planet after they started making really crappy fighting games for the Xbox. And I think they made one for the PS2 as well, but they're just really bad. But yeah, big appeal for this game was you could play as Final Fantasy VII characters. You can see Cloud versus Sephiroth over here. Hopefully it focuses in. But yeah, other characters, I think Tifa, Yuffie, and Vincent, Turks Vincent as well. Really fun game. Pointer's Point, this one's wrapped up a little differently. From Konami, one of the first really fun multiplayer games that I've ever played. It's called Poi Poi in the US, and it's a little hard to find for the English version. But it's just kind of frantic. Up to four player game, as you can see over here. Really fun. It comes with the spine card, the Obi. Not that it really matters, but looking forward to playing that. There's Brave Fence and Musashiden. Actually, let's bring this up while I have these three out here. You see, like, these are all Japanese PlayStation 1 games, and in the States we had a pretty uniform jewel case policy, I guess, for our games. The design was all pretty much strictly the same. And you see over here, there's 3 different types. These are all official cases for the games too, but get this PlayStation branded thick case. Really a lot of space. Cracks really easily. I don't really like these cases, but it's kind of cool to have the PlayStation brand on it. Standard jewel case. Nothing special. Some of them even have the little black part on the end over here, like CDs, music CDs. And then you have these ones, which I kind of like these. And a lot of actually Konami music CDs have this style as well. But it's this thick case, but it's pretty durable, pretty strong inside like this. But we'll talk about this game over here. Sorry for that noise. It's a Brave Fensu Musashi Den, called Brave Fensu Musashi in the United States. Really, really good game. Really fun action RPG. Colorful characters, very, very loosely based on, you know, Japanese historical figures. This one had it's supposed to have a card in it, but who knows if it's in here. Oh, there you go. There's a card. There you go. But yeah, $1. When this got released, I remember picking it up. I actually had an Asian version, which had a Chinese and English instruction manual, but I sold that a long time ago. The big thing was to get this Squares Preview 3, which I can't see it. It doesn't say anything about it here, but it had a demo for Final Fantasy VIII, which was new at the time, and I remember being blown away by the demo, but didn't really like the game. But this game is fantastic, and if you ever have a chance, give it a try if you haven't never done so. Alright, throw that over there. This is LAPD, I think Future Cop, LAPD. Not sure if you can see it, but it's actually an EA game, I believe. Let's see. But anyways, it's just an American game ported over to the Japanese PlayStation, localized for Japanese audiences, obviously, with the manga style characters. Really pretty cool. Good game. There you go. EA, right there. Really, really cool game. Really fun action game. But I pretty much just picked this up to kind of use as a maybe in the future talk about the different localizations for each region. This game is a good example with the Japanese style cover. I think in the States it's more like a giant robot, kind of generic mech warrior looking cover, if I remember correctly. But another game like Pandemonium, these 2.5D scrolling games from, I think Psygnosis did it back in the day. Japanese version, just really cartoony anime characters, changed really just for the Japanese market. And you know, the same thing happens with the States. So kind of interesting, good game, $1. And PlayStation Vandal Hearts, a lot of Konami games I picked up. I love Konami. They're probably my favorite third-party publisher for the video games. I have this in English already too, but you know, I thought, ooh, it's nice. Some stickers here. Thought I'd just pick this up because it is one of my favorite games on the PlayStation, and it's an excellent strategy RPG. I remember playing it for the first time, being just shocked at the rivers and fountains of blood that you inflict. It just pops out of the characters. It's really crazy. But yeah, within the first 5 minutes, you're just destroying people, and they're losing way more blood than could be possibly in their bodies. But great game. And here you go, one of my favorite games of all time, Genso Suikoden 2, or Suikoden 2 as it's known in the States. I had several copies of this in English, but you know, to make ends meet, you gotta sell things sometimes. I hate doing that, but you know, when I was a young college kid, no money. Really a great game. I love the story, love the characters. I love the Suikoden series. Gotta admit though, I stopped playing it at 4. I have all the games, but 3 kind of turned me off a little bit. But you know, if you buy this on eBay, English version, it's gonna set you back probably over $100. But $1, Japan. If you can play it in Japanese, play it in Japanese. I love the English version. It has a lot of kind of incorrect translations or bad grammar. It kind of gives it charm, but really looking forward to playing this in Japanese. And some PS2 games. Rez. Love this game, Rez. Wish I could have found the Dreamcast version for $1, but it's pretty expensive, even in Japan, for the Dreamcast. there's a digital download for it, a HD remake of it for the Xbox 360. I'm not sure about PlayStation Network, but it's really a great game. And this does not come with the trans vibrator, but I don't really need a used version of that. But excellent game. And of course, Guitar Man, which I did a video on with this and Parappa the Rapper. Have the English version. Really great game. I'm interested in seeing what the Japanese characters sound like, and so I'll just kind of pull this off. Get it off of there. Alright. Well. $1. Let's see what's in here. Disc facing the wrong way for some reason. Reverse. Kind of a boring cover, but whatever. So looking forward to that too. Alright, so those are the dollar games. Things that I picked up for, let me see, 250 yen. So I'll just say it's about 250, $3, somewhere in between there. But this is the Super Game Boy 2. This was for the Super Famicom, Super Nintendo in the United States. So I think the only difference with Super Game Boy 1 and Super Game Boy 2 is, there you go. There's a little link port, so if you wanted to connect your Game Boy to it. Pretty sure that the first Super Game Boy didn't have this feature, so step up, $3, fantastic. Here you go, Final Fantasy VI, also known as Final Fantasy 3 in the States. I already have a copy of this as well, but for $3, how could you go wrong? In the original box, this is kind of a pain to take off, so I'm just gonna keep it like this. But yeah, I'll probably just end up selling this on eBay or just having a spare to display, something like that. But this is my favorite Final Fantasy of all time, and just love the art, love the story, love the music. Fantastic, wonderful game. And this I was really excited about. I was a huge Dreamcast fan when it first came out. I still love it now, but haven't played it in a long time. But the Japanese version of Shenmue 2, and looks like it comes complete with everything it's supposed to come with. So I haven't opened it up yet, but there you go, 250 yen. I have it for Xbox. I couldn't get through it because I was bummed out that my Dreamcast file wouldn't get, transferred over. So I played it for a little bit, and I just thought, someday I'll get through it. But here's some Virtua Fighter history. Alright, this is Yu Suzuki. It's the guy behind Shenmue. Some Virtua Fighter 4 Passport. That's interesting. And oh my god, it's the game, but it looks like it's completely sealed. Oh, that is pretty awesome, actually. Alright, well, brand new copy of Shenmue 2 for $2.50. Excellent. We also have Magic Knight Rayearth. Had the English version. I had to sell it. Had to sell most of my Saturn games, unfortunately. Next game from over here, I also had the English version. Sold it like an idiot. But yeah, Magic Knight Rayearth is a really great anime and manga. Not a real big fan of manga or anime in general, but I really love this, and this game was great. Looking forward to playing it in Japanese because I think that the Working Designs did the port of this, and if I remember correctly, they had a problem porting it over. That's why it took so long. It came out at the end of the Saturn's life cycle, but the computer crashed and they lost a lot of data, so they had to rebuild a lot of it from scratch. So it's not quite the same experience, I hear. And yeah, it'd be good to play it in its original form. Stick that over here. And Shining the Holy Ark, 250 yen. Kind of a spin-off of the Shining series. Ooh, that's fancy. I had this, like I said earlier, in English. First-person RPG game. Really nice graphics, beautiful music. Silent protagonist kind of game. Really excited to play this again. I got to the very end of the game, never got around to beating it, and I sold it, so got to complete that. And Vagrant Story for the PlayStation 1. $3. Case is a little dirty, but it's fine. I also have the English version, but I love this game so much, so I just wanted to have it, the Japanese version too, and the price was right. Great music by Hitoshi Sakimoto, who worked on Final Fantasy Tactics and I think a few other games, Final Fantasy 12 perhaps, but yeah, excellent game. Alright, that was $3. put these over here. These are a little more expensive. $5, 500 yen. This is a Ganbare Goemon for the Famicom, but this is the Game Boy Advance version. A lot of these games were released. They also did this in the States with NES games. They just were basically the standard Game Boy Advance carts, but with the original, I guess, ROMs on the emulation for the Game Boy Advance. But I love the Ganbare Goemon series, also known as Mystical Ninja, and bought a few of these games actually from the series, and I hope to do a video about them soon. But really slick box. The game cartridge is actually inside of here. Put that over here. Umihara Kawase Portable. I really like this series, but I heard that this port is pretty poorly done, so we'll have to see. I'll probably do a video about this one. But side-scrolling kind of puzzle game, cute, fun, colorful. This is Ganbare Goemon. Let's see, Uchu Kaizoku Akogingu. Okay, so like I said, Goemon game. Love this series. Love the characters. Always goofy, always colorful. And I didn't have any of the PlayStation version, so yeah, like about $5. Break an ad. Gun Gauge, another Konami game. I had this once before too, but ended up selling it. Ooh, it's nice. This is kind of a third-person action shooter game. I remember the controls being really awkward because I had a PlayStation 1 controller without the analog. I assumed that, yep, it does support analog here, so I'm wondering if you could play it like shooters these days are, but it was really fun. It really had, I know I talk about the music a lot, but the music was really fantastic, and different playable characters with different styles, and yeah, really fun. I'll definitely do a video about this. And I also want to do a video about this game, Gunner's Heaven, which is a 2D side-scrolling shoot-'em-up. Very similar looking to Gunstar Heroes. And in fact, I remember in the maybe in the late 90s and the early 2000s, a lot of people on the internet mistakenly thought that this was the sequel to Gunstar Heroes. I mean, it has kind of similar art, a little bit different, but and the gameplay is very, very much like that. But I'll definitely do a video on this. I've actually had this game several times and end up selling it every time. But $5, not bad. One of my favorite Genesis or Mega Drive games, Phantasy Star: End of the Millennium. I had the English version of this. One of the first RPGs I ever played and beat. Really fun game. I was super happy to find this. Instruction manual, map, some advertisements. Card is in great condition. Love the Mega Drive and the Genesis boxes. It's really nice, solid feel to it. And yeah, I don't know if I'll make a video about this, but it's nice to have it in my collection again. Here's a game. Let's see, Mahotsukai Kurohime. I guess the Black Princess Magus, I guess would be the good translation for it. But I remember seeing this game before in stores and thinking, it looks fun enough for a PlayStation 2 shooting game. And main character's sexy. Can't really go too wrong. $5. And I was really excited about this, the Ni no Kuni Nintendo DS. I guess this is the limited edition. This was $5. Really big box. Doesn't really come with too much, other than the nice looking box and this book. This particular copy it's in okay condition, but the book's pretty nice. It's got a lot of detailed information, artwork, so not bad. Card with a lot of different informations, and it's the game itself. Beautiful cover. Wish that was the PS3 cover in the States, but I mean, even in Japan, they kind of really that's a poor choice for cover art, I thought, in the for the PS3 version. But yeah, $5, and they had tons of these actually, so people are just getting rid of them, and it's an excellent value. Alright, let's go to the more expensive games. So I hate buying games loose like this. I like to have the box, but a kind of hard to find game. It's a Goemon New Age. Let's see, Shutsudo. Okay, it's like a futuristic kind of reboot of the Ganbare Goemon series, and definitely gonna do a video about this. Use it on my GameCube Game Boy player, and yeah, really kind of funky. They turned his partner Ebisumaru into a girl. It's really weird, but should be pretty solid. I remember playing it before. Gokujo Parodius Deluxe Pack. The Parodius series is like a Gradius parody series. Really fun, really colorful. Wish I had the Saturn version, but you know, whatever. PlayStation version is gonna have to do. And I'm a huge shooting game fan, a shoot 'em up, shmup fan. So definitely look for a few games like this. Be doing a video about that hopefully. Another Goemon game, Ganbare Goemon Kurunara Koi, Ayashige Ika no Kuroi Kage. So yeah, just another later. I think the one I showed earlier was the first PlayStation Goemon game, but this is probably the second one. Konami Computer Entertainment, Nagoya. But yep, definitely a huge fan of Goemon, and we'll be enjoying this. And then Princess Crown for the Sega Saturn. Oh, before I do that, let's see. This was $10, $10. So not bad. $10 too. You can see the 950 yen tag. And Princess Crown for the Sega Saturn, a game that I also once had before but sold because I just needed the money. Played this when it first came out actually. Final Fantasy VII was really popular, but I had a friend who said that this is better than Final Fantasy VII, and well, some things are better about it, but it is a great game, but I can't really agree with that statement. But recently picked up Dragon's Crown because I love this game so much, and it's kind of a spiritual successor, and I'll definitely do a video about this. I also have the PSP version. I don't know if you can see it, it's right there, but if I can get my Saturn if I can get my capture card to record Saturn games, which I have a hard time doing, I'll definitely use the Saturn version. But if not, PSP version. Same game, but different text, different font. Okay, and those are all the games I picked up. Just want to talk a little bit about some video game soundtracks. Dracula X, Nocturne in the Moonlight, Symphony of the Night, Castlevania. This was, I think, $12. One of the best video game soundtracks. Picked it up at a book off. Here's Genso Suiko Gaiden Volume 1. Alright. And this was the text adventure side story to Suikoden 2. And there's Nash, this character in Suikoden 3. Also excellent music, great remixes, and better sounding arranges of Suikoden 2's soundtrack. Suikoden Genso Suikoden 1 soundtrack. I used to have this CD. Actually used to have the CD too, but Suikoden stuff went for a lot of money back then. Had to sell it, but one of the greatest soundtracks I've ever heard. 2 discs, and it's just fantastic. I'm so happy to have this again. And here's that Konami style case. Final Fantasy VI, this was $10. Oh, this was 12. This was, oh, sorry about that. Goofed. This was, yeah, I think this is $10. This is the legit Squaresoft. You gotta be careful when you buy CDs because there are a lot of fakes when you're shopping online. But places in Japan, they don't deal with bootlegs. Like they know, they check. But yeah, this is a fantastic CD in great condition. This is one of the original releases. They all the Final Fantasy I believe have been re-released under Square Enix, so that's not good. But yeah, this is Squaresoft, and if you see Squaresoft or Digicube, you know it's an older version. And a couple more. Eco, great music. I had this once. It got stolen, unfortunately. This was, I think, $7. Really fantastic music. Wish I could pick up the Shadow of the Colossus CD as well, but it's a little harder to find. And then finally, Final Fantasy VI Grand Finale, which I believe is orchestrated versions of the some of the best, or the, I guess, Nobuo Uematsu's favorite tracks from the game. Haven't taken a listen to this yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. And that's some funky artwork. Alright, so those are some music CDs, and finally just some books and some figures. So, Vagrant Story Ultimania, 105 yen, a buck. This giant book. I had these before. I sold them for quite a bit of money before in the past. Just a lot of, it's a walkthrough, a lot of great information, some interviews, great artwork. Huge thing. Put this over here. Final Fantasy Tactics 100. The JK voice published version, I guess, of Famitsu. Yeah, a lot of really cool artwork in this as well. Kind of a brief guide on the game. 105 yen. Knights. Here's another. I guess who does this? Famitsu as well. A buck. I just really love Knights. It's kind of sometimes overrated. A lot of people have a lot of nostalgic kind of feelings for it. I do too, but still love the game. I just wanted to have the book to have it. Parasite Eve. One of my. I love the music and the art, and I go, ooh, that's risque. But really, also a great game. 105 yen to have this book with some great artwork in it. Final Fantasy VII official establishment file. There are a lot of different Final Fantasy VII type guides out there, and usually they're about 105 yen. This has like a nice little poster in it. I already have this copy. I might sell it on eBay, but yes, yeah, really great artwork. Alright, the Street Fighter art comic anthology. I had this once before as well, and I sold it on eBay. But a lot of different comics from different artists about Street Fighter characters. You know, it's a nice book to have. I might keep this one, sell it. 326. This is an art book. Tell the art. Same artist who did Guitar Man and a buck. So there's no Guitar Man art in here, but I'm a big fan of this type of art style, so looking forward to looking through that. Alright, here's a Zelda, Super Nintendo Zelda Link to the Past guide, Triforce of the Gods in Japan. Picked this up for $4, and it's a really cool guide. Has some really interesting art. A lot of scenes from the Zelda commercial that was pretty cool in Japan. Let's see if I could find a picture of that. Looks like I can't, but I was excited to pick this up because it's the second volume, the the lower volume of it, and here's the upper one, which I already have, and comes a nice little Triforce, and now I got that complete, so glad to have that. And finally, here is a Wild Arms Falgaia Chronicle book. I actually already have this book, but it's worth kind of a bit of money. Picked it up for 450 yen. It's got the little sleeve intact, but it goes through Wild Arms 1, a lot of art, information, a lot of the characters, enemies. It's really a big book. Wild Arms 2, which I love Wild Arms 2. Really one of the better RPGs, and yeah, again, the music is fantastic in Wild Arms 2. And then I think the anime show, yeah. Let's just go through there, which I've never seen, but and I'm really not that interested in, but yeah, it's a really cool thing. I'll probably sell this on eBay, and yeah, so look for it if you're interested. And finally, I just want to talk about some figurines. So, first let's talk about this. This is the first one I picked up. Really kind of a cool Link from the original Legend of Zelda cover art, and I brought the Famicom disc version just to show the comparison. So there he is. This was $10, and I had to take it out of the container because it was just, the bubble was just too big, and it was really awkward in my suitcase. But yeah, they had different designs. They had like a Wind Waker, a Skyward Sword, a couple of Marios, but this was the only Link they had. So And this is actually my favorite version of Link, so I'm really happy to get that. Picked up this Coca-Cola Final Fantasy Final Fantasy X Lulu figure. This was $1. This was a figurine that came packed with Cokes several years ago, and have a nice little collection of these, but I didn't have this version of Lulu. Really excited to pick up this. This is a Final Fantasy VII Tifa. I had the super deformed version of this for such a long time, but never went out and got this version. So I have a huge collection of Tifa figurines. I have pretty much every Tifa figurine, including the chrome figure, and the larger resin figures. And I might do a video based on all those just to give people information. But yeah, one of the first figurines I ever picked up was the Kotobukiya Tifa Final Fantasy VII figurine, and kind of just started picking her up from then. A strong character, hot, but just a really great character in Final Fantasy VII. And then finally I got this, which I was very excited about. Oh, this is unfortunate, I hate to say it, but it's about $6. And then this Moroboro, whatever you want to call him, one of the iconic Final Fantasy enemies, endgame enemies. You can see some pretty gruesome deaths for the people he's on, but yeah, the famous Bad Breath. And yeah, really detailed. This is from the Final Fantasy Creatures line, and I have a few of those too. And I was really excited to pick this one up. This was about $8, and yeah, really highly detailed, really sturdy too. I'm gonna pull his head off, I think. Get out there you go. So yeah, just put it together. This one doesn't quite go in all the way, but it's enough where you don't really notice. So really awesome series of figures. And yeah, so that was everything I picked up when I was in Japan, and hopefully I can make a lot of videos, especially about like these guys. And yeah, so if you ever go to Japan, look up especially Book Off for cheap games. It's really a hunt. You might find a lot of great things one day. You might not. I'm really happy I got this Shenmue 2 brand new for $3. But yeah, Super Potato, it's a retro game only store, and they have a lot of great games, tons of selection, but that's their focus, so they know that they can sell it at a higher price. So go there if there's something you really are looking for. Like I picked this Princess Crown up for $20 because I really wanted to get this. But yeah, Book Off, usually everything is really cheap, especially older things. And yeah, hopefully you have a chance to hit up Japan. And yeah, thanks for watching if you watched all the way through. And yeah, I'll make some real videos now. Thanks, bye.